Today I'm gonna show you how to shoot a cinematic product video at home using an old $200 DSLR from 2011 and only one light. And this is me in the past, grieving about not having the newest equipment to shoot a nice product commercial, and instead he's doing nothing and waiting for better times. But he has a camera, an old Canon DSLR. And yes, of course, there are some downsides to it. It has no 4K, no slow-mo, and what the hell is autofocus? Newer smartphones would have much better stats than this old camera, but I will use this old Canon to show you that the camera doesn't matter. At the end, I will also show you how I edit the final clip, and here it is. So this old me is still doing nothing, but he has this nice watch he really likes and wants to shoot a commercial for.
I really like this watch.
But it's not always the camera and expensive equipment. So let me just show this unknowing fella that he has all he needs in this mysterious treasure chest. But this is only my old camera. Let's start creeping in the past and concentrate on the present time. Don't worry, dude. There's no place for the past in the present. No! I will send you a link to the video. But now, let's start shooting a commercial with this camera. Let me check the time. Time to start. Hey, what's up? My name is Fab. I'm a full-time filmmaker from Germany, and I hope you enjoyed my little intro. I already prepared my setup behind me. I am using a standard camping table I bought on Amazon. I prepared my watch hanging on the extension arm, C-stand extension arm, and I gaffed my watch with some fishing wire on this pole. In the background I clamped a black curtain on the bookshelf so we can have this nice black background. And what is important here, that you have the most possible distance from your subject to the background, so the background won't get some spill of the light we will use later. As we're talking lights, I will use this TubeLight. It's a Nanlite Pavotube 6C. I love tube lights, and that's the only light we will use for this video. And we are in my living room, and the gear I use you usually don't find at home. So if you want to copy this at home, you easily can use a broom or some pole you can find at home, and in the back you can use a black curtain, some black material you can find, and that's it. As you can see, I also used some weight and fishing wire underneath my watch, so the watch won't swing that much. And my camera settings I will insert here, and my lens is the standard kit lens, but I mounted a small close-up filter in front of it. You can find these very cheap on Amazon, and if you don't want a filter, you can easily use these distance rings you can find on Amazon as well. I will link it down in the description. As you saw in the commercial, the first shots are a little bit teasing. They just show the edges of the watch. Before we start shooting, we want to darken the room so only my light will hit the watch, and we have the nice edge light we saw in the video earlier. Let me just adapt the ISO a little bit. Yeah, that looks fine. Nice. So now the room is completely dark and only my light is light in the room, and we can start shooting. And we start with our details from the bracelet, and for this I will use this light, slowly revealing the bracelet and then going dark again. And always have something with you to remove the dust. And what I'm doing here, I make the movements very slow because I can speed it up anyway in post, and I play with the intensity of the light. Oh no! So I have different possibilities in post-production later on. So this already looked pretty good, as you can see in the raw clip. And now we are shooting the watch itself. And for this shot I want the light to walk on the edges around the watch, and I think this will look really nice. And what I'm trying to do, I do not want to reveal the logo yet. Before we get some details of the knob on the side, I will now go a little bit closer and make the reveal shot for the logo. I think this worked pretty well. And now we want to shoot the knob on the side of the watch and have a nice light streaking down the edge of the watch. And for this I will change the position of the watch a little bit so we can get this side a little bit better. Let's try it. And never forget to clean the parts you're shooting. Yeah, I think this will work. And now we're coming to the hero shot, the last 2 shots of this commercial. And for this we're using something new. We have a nice acrylic plate which is reflective, and we are using this. A turntable. You can get these for around 30 to 50 bucks at Amazon, but you can use cheaper ones, manual ones, Lazy Susans. I set the camera on the level of the plate, so we have nice reflections. And what I don't like about this is that the surface is kinda in a strange angle. I want it to be parallel to my lens, and for this I will use something special. I will use this Play-Doh from a dollar store, and I already prepared some black Play-Doh, so I will use this now. What I simply do is put this in here, and for this shot we have movement with the turntable, so we will mount the light above the watch and let the turntable move, and we will install the backdrop before we do this shot, so we can see if the backdrop is nicely lit. By the way, this was a birthday present from my dad to my 13th birthday, so thanks again for that. Now we have the problem that the white shot we want to use, we don't have the backdrop in the whole background. We try to fix this in post and make a black background behind it. And for this last shot I will use this remote control. I really like this, and we will use the 180-degree function, so it will turn 180-degree and back and all the time till I stop it. And now we have to wait 2 minutes or 3, so the click can go like 2 or 3 rounds. Then we just lower the stand behind, and we have the backdrop and make our final shot, and that's it. This is the last shot, and now we're going into the edit and try to make the best out of this. Let's go. So now we are in my editing suite in Premiere Pro, but you can do this with Final Cut or DaVinci or maybe even Movie Maker. So what we are doing is just drag and drop our clips from the previous shoot into the Premiere, and we will now draw all of them clips here in my timeline, so we can shuffle through them and get our best shots. What I usually do is make a second timeline, a cut timeline, and a preview timeline, and then I will drag and drop the cut timeline beneath the preview timeline, delete everything in there, and now I can go through the preview timeline and drag and drop every nice clip I find down in the cut timeline. So now I got all my clips in the timeline, and we have this one shot where we let the watch stay there for a bit. So we now have to make this faster, and this is simply done by making some keyframes for speed and speed up the second part where the tick is going around on the clock. Nice. And the next step is removing the fishing wire here. I will do this by masking it out. As you can see, there's black behind it. We need to make our watch black as well, but we will do this at the end with the final color grade. Next step is we want to duplicate this layer, pressing Alt, click, and we turn this around exactly 180 degree and mask the half of it. We have this nice effect here. We speed this a little bit up, and also at the end of the previous clip. And what I also want to spice up a little is the light streak on the knob side. Maybe we can make speed ramp at the beginning as well. Duplicate all of this. Make a little speed ramp at the end of this as well. Now let's add some music. Yeah, it's not the best music, but for educational purposes this is enough. And let's also add some clock ticking at the beginning and make a last clicking sound when the watch is at his final shot. Nice. What I do now is little color grading. So what you can see here is that black is not black yet. So we bring down the black point here. You can see we have two clips, so you can see what we're doing. So I want to clip the blacks right down there, and then I want the brightest points to be white. And this effect I will copy also on the second. And now we have, yeah, that looks nice. We copy this on this. There's no difference anymore between the back background and the black background we shot. So I don't like the end of the video when the clock is spinning at the turntable. So I want to add a little suspense and a swoosh here. By the way, I got all these sound effects from Envato Elements. It's a nice stock site to get anything you want, stock material, music, sound effects, After Effects template. It's very nice and I really love it. It's not that expensive like other sites like Storyblocks or something. There's still something I want to add, and this is this rotation keyframes on this shot. And we just quickly do this. And we still have to mask out this last shot because you can see there's the cat tree and my wall because this white shot wasn't covered by the backdrop. And maybe we need to adjust the black level a little bit. This looks much better. So I now need this last effect for the last transition because those two shots are not in the same place. So yeah, that's still fine, I think. And we got this little opening and the final logo reveal and nice colors. And the last thing I will do is to make the red a little bit more red to have this little punch on the last frame. And that's it. That was my tutorial for a little commercial with an old camera and only one light, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to check me out on Instagram, you can do this. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you didn't like it, feel free to press the dislike button twice. So, let's see you next time or in the next shooting und auf Wiedersehen. Hey Siri, was heißt nachmachen auf Englisch?
Auf Englisch heißt nachmachen